So over the years being in East Baltimore, when you look at, I mean, you touched on it a little while ago, but as far as the children and their upbringing, as far as the mentality of children today, can you speak on how kids were as far as their mentality and what basically the way they were raised back then, how y'all raised y'all kids as far as versus the way people parent today, as far as I mean, I see like, and it kind of blows me when I could see a person come out their house and literally throw trash on the front of their house, and I'm saying to myself, you just came out of the house. And I think back, there's no way in the world you might have got popped upside the head. You know what I mean? You done came out the house and threw trash on the ground in front of the door. Because I remember, we put in work. You got out there, you kept the front of the house clean.
Steps.
The steps. You knew Ajax. You knew what Ajax and Comet was.
Yes, indeed.
Because them steps those steps was clean enough to eat off of. They got done every day. You know what I mean? But as far as, when the last time you seen a child clean some steps?
Around here, never. And I'm serious. In this block right here, since I've been in this block, I look up, I go to the door and I stand sometimes and I just look. And not one time have I seen any child from this block across the street, for what I can see, ever wash a step. Nope, not one child. Now, but you see, Pico washed mine. I've got my children have washed my steps, but for other people in the block, nope. And see, actually, this block has changed a lot because I think the people in the block are more, so they're not as, I'm going to say, friendly as some of the ones that was before when I first moved on in the block. Like my neighbor next door, Brenda, they moved. And then there was another lady up the street. But Frank, the guy Frank, maybe like 3 or 4 doors down. Now he's a blessing. Him and his son, when they're snoring outside, they would come and clean in front of my door, clean in front of the people next here and over here. They would clean in front of their door and make sure you can get out the door. They would clean my steps off. I wouldn't have to ask. Now, his people walk around with shovels, right? They want you to pay them to do it. But why? I mean, not just that, but I'm saying, yourself, Marvin, and all them, they come, make sure my steps is clean, and anybody that's on each side of me. But people just not like that no more. All they want is they want money. To shovel your snow. They ain't gonna say, "Mister, you want me to shovel snow?" And you say, "Well, I don't have the money." Or I'll do it for free. You don't get that. You don't. And I understand that younger children want a couple of dollars, and it's probably because they don't have it. So I understand that. But if somebody come to do my steps or something, and I got them, I'm gonna give it to them. If I can't do it myself, I'll sweep it off with a broom, and I had them, and I'm gonna give it to them because, I mean, it don't hurt. I know some things I can't do no more. I can't do a whole lot of lifting and bending and stuff like that. So, but I'm far as the children in the block now compared to when I first moved up here. We had block parties. Where they during the summer they would have a giveaway out there for the children. Going back to school. We don't have that no more. And I maybe because they're scared because there's so much stuff happening. Damn, people getting shot. And so when they have a big group of people, you don't never know when somebody gonna come and start shooting because they might see one person that they didn't like, and so this is your opportunity to get that person. So I guess everybody said safe than sorry. I guess that's the way it is now. But as I raised my children, I raised them to clean behind themselves. So if I say go put the trash out, ain't got no problem because I don't get this. They go put that trash, or some of them just want me to put your trash out. Sure, go ahead. So me myself, at the way I raised my kids back in the day and coming up in the way we were raised, We didn't have to fuss at our children for them to do certain things. They knew what they had to do and they did it. Now, in other households, I can't really say, but I know some of the people that I lived with in the block on Ashton Avenue, like Marlene and our family members. Now, we were close. Junior Burton and them, we were close. You know, for Project, her and a sister, couple of sisters. And they always tell you, we knew what Miss Vicky picked for dinner from Sunday to Saturday. And if we wanted X, Y, and Z, we knew where to go. And I would feed other people to them before I ate. That's the way I was. Because I feel like, I mean, it don't hurt. And I say, thank God for Murray's Steakhouse. And that's one of the things I said, because back then, you could take less and get a lot more than you get in a day. So I didn't mind feeding people too. You in there, you hungry? Sure, eat. If I can feed you and get you a meal, why not? As I pick, you know, I'm pretty sure one of mine was over their house, they would feed them too. So that's the way that we were on Ashton Avenue. Now, when I moved from Ashton Avenue, this block, ain't nobody gonna feed their child that I know of. Now they might. Now with me, I'm totally different. If somebody bring, if they say you brought your friend in and I'm cooking, you eating, your friend gonna eat.
Sure.
I ain't gonna tell you, I ain't gonna feed him. I ain't got no food for him, because if I got something, because like I said, I'll give you half of what I got to feed your friend. That's the way I am. That's why I was brought up that way. My mother always fed somebody. She always had people in the house she fed, and that was instilled in me as well. And I think, honestly speaking, I think my kids the same way. I know y'all are, and I know Ronnie is, Tia. I mean, all of them is like that, and that's a good thing, because so that shows that y'all have values. Y'all were brought up that way, the same way that we were brought up. If I told my children, I said, look, y'all went to school. When school get out, all y'all come home together. Don't come home without one. Don't leave nobody. And that's the way it was.
Left behind.
I mean, I say like it's safe, better safe than sorry. And people just say, your mother mean no. If don't touch my children.
She's serious.
Touch my children. My children are my life. I'm not gonna go fight for them. That's me. That's the way I was brought up. I was brought up that way. That if something happened to one of us, and we were in, and my sister and brother out there saw it. Oh, when you get in the house, Big Mama gonna take over. That's the way it was, and she always told us that. Always take up for your sibling. Always. You don't let nobody beat on your sibling who's standing right there. That's not the way to be. And so that was instilled in me, and y'all was the same way. Mm-hmm. Especially Tia. Oh my God, Tia would fight. She didn't care who it was. That's the way Tia was. And that's the way I am. I'm like that too. And as old as I am now, if I go out there doing somebody doing something to my children, y'all probably knock me down. As long as I can get back up, I'm still going. That's me. But I'm telling you, East Baltimore is not a bad community. It's not. It's just what comes in the community. That's basically what it is, because it's people that come from West Side and all that stuff. And things wasn't as bad until we started getting the different people coming in from different parts of the city. You know, because you wasn't hearing nothing about no people shooting each other and stuff like this, like it is now. You didn't hear all of that. But now it's getting closer and closer. And I tell you, look, when we moved up here in the block, and we had a few people that were standing on the corner selling drugs, right? Pop went out there on the corner, and he talked to them civilly. They got mad with one thing. They threw something at him. And from that point on, they threw something at him. Matter of fact, it was a bottle. Threw something at him. We had no problem. They went and took that stuff and took it somewhere else. But it's all in the way that you talk to people. You have to know what to say and how to say it to them. So, and them couple of same guys that he made go off the corner, now they speak to him. So God works in mysterious ways. He does. I'm telling you, just gotta bear with him. And I thank him every day for life.
That's what I say when people be like, you can't talk to these young. I was like, yes you can. Yes you can. It's all about the way you talk to them.
That's right.
You can talk to them. You just can't talk down to them. You know what I mean? If you come at them with respect, you know what I mean, and like I say, not try to talk down to them, because when you try to talk down to them, you're basically chastising them, and you got a lot of people that's out there for different reasons. Like I said, you might have a person that's out there that really don't want to be out there, but they out there with a purpose because they might have younger siblings in the house. The mother might be locked up
Right.
and don't nobody know, and he out here, you know what I mean, making sure his brothers and sisters eat every day, and you never know. So coming out there trying to talk down to him when he's basically being a man way before he's supposed to be doing this or whatever, and you'll have a person say, you need to go to school somewhere, and he's thinking to himself, I
He would
wish I
like to if
could.
he could, if
You
he
know
had
what I
the
mean?
right
I
stuff to
wish I
work.
could. You know what I mean? So you never know what's, you know what I mean, going on with somebody unless you ask them. You know what I mean? If you come to somebody with respect or whatever, and you can eventually ask them why you out here. You know what I mean? What's your real reason for being? You know what I mean? Then you get that story, and it almost bring you to tears. You know what I
Right.
mean? Because then you be like, look at them, the reason why they out there compared to the person that's just out there because they want a pair of tennis shoes.
Right.
You know what I mean? But
I remember one of Bassie's friends, we all called him Psycho back in the day, but man, and he loved staying in our house. I said one day I asked him, I said, man, when you going home? And he was picking with him. He said, I like it. He said, because he said black, because that's what they call him back then. He said, black, I'm mother and father in the household. And I wish I had a family like y'all got. And so after I heard him say that, I couldn't tell him to go home. I couldn't. I mean, it was like, whenever you ready. So the only thing I think, just make sure you bathe and wash your clothes. That's it. That's it. I mean, Bassie had the basement where he slept at. Well, he had his room too, so he ain't hurting nothing. That's what you ain't doing nothing crazy. As long as you ain't doing nothing, you fine. You fine. He ate, you ate. That's why I would say my mother always say share like that. So and I took that upon myself to be that type of person. And that's the same way, y'all the same way. So it's like trickling down from one generation to the other. Always had somebody extra in the house or somebody that, that needed us as a backbone. It was always there for them. That's the way, I think that's the way God intended it to be. I know it, for me, for our daycare, and what I do for my children, a lot of parents don't have to bring food, but I must make sure them children eat. They ain't gonna go home because the parent didn't bring nothing, and talking about people making big money and could make big money from doing daycare. That's not this lady right here, y'all. It's not her. I'm not that lady that get them big bucks. I try to do things for people because I know everybody's struggling about right now, even the people that got money, so to speak. I don't mean millionaires and stuff like that, but the people that working and make pretty good. Some of them still struggling because they got on a big bill to pay. So if I can help you in any way, I do. That's what I do. People say, "Why you underbid yourself?" It's only money, y'all. I mean, as long as I can pay my bills, I'm happy. That's me. That's the way I always been. I've never been greedy for money. So, I mean, it's like I have had children in my household and haven't gotten paid. I mean, that's the truth too. And I guess they figured that, after they pay me 2 or 3 weeks, and then I didn't get paid. So they didn't come back. I didn't fire them. I didn't say, don't bring your children back. I didn't do that. I guess it was just on them. They felt bad, so they went to them. So I gave the chance. But everybody said, you always underbid yourself. No, I mean, I'm just trying to be fair. And that's the way I've been all my life, fair. Trying to be fair anyway. I don't know how other people take it, but that's the way I look at it. If you be fair to people, then you look for that and you turn it, a lot of time it come back to you. I know I've seen a lot of things that, that I've done in the past to help people. And still, it come back, and people even come back and you say, you know what, I remember when you did daycare for us. And like Anastasia, her brother, that's no longer here, God rest his soul.
Marquise.
Yeah, Marquise. That was my little handsome man there. And little Dill. Oh my goodness, I had all three of the family members, all of them together. So I mean, my doors have always been open to people that you ain't gotta be. They when they did the license daycare and people paying that big money. Good God, I was saying to myself, that's a lot of money to pay somebody. Hey, this woman was never like it, but I just don't discriminate from certain people. If you ain't got it, you ain't got it, but you need the help. If I can help you in any way, that's me. That's how I am. And that's the way my children the same way, so I guess it's like trickle down. And then I guess from their children, they'll be the same way at some point. So
Right,
we are close knitted family. That's what we are.
right, and you kind of touched on it on a subject that I be talking about all the time when I say, like you say, if you can help somebody or as far as having extra people in the house helping them out or whatever. And like I say, a lot of times I be speaking to people and I say, far as the younger people today, you might have some, like I said, might have both parents in jail. Might have one parent that's not here, the other parent in jail on their own. But back in the day when you had situations like that, a lot of times you often seen the younger kids stayed with the grandmother. The
Right,
grandmother was raising them, or an aunt, you know what I mean, or something like that. And I say a lot of times today, you don't see that.
right, right,
So it and it's not, you see these kids out here running the streets or whatever. It's not that, I don't know. I mean, it's they don't have the mother and father, you know what I mean, dead to help them or whatever. But it's not like they don't have family that could possibly help them. You know what I mean? But actually don't.
right,
And I say that's a big factor on along far as why you got so many kids in the street.
right,
You know what I mean? Because these people, I know that the kids out there, and I ain't got time for that. You know what I mean? You ain't got time for that, but you probably the same person that was raised by your grandmother.
right.
You know what I mean? What if your grandmother say, "Oh, I ain't got time for that." You know what I mean? But some things I can understand or whatever. But if you don't try to help a person, you don't actually know what they'll do. If you got a person out there and they doing this, that, and the third because they have to, because they in survival mode, and you open your door to them and tell them, look, these the rules. You never know that person just to be able to have a bed to lay in at night
Right.
might be enough for them to say, all right, I can't do that no more. You know, and go back to doing what they supposed to do, school, work, or whatever. But if you just say, oh, just look at what they doing for the moment and just say, all right, just turn your back on them or whatever, you might be turning your back on a blessing down the road.
That's the truth. That's the truth.
Because if you help that person and they go on to be whoever, you know what I mean? They're gonna look out, they're gonna remember what you did for them and make sure you alright. But like I said, we
Yeah,
don't.
'cause you never know when your situation might change, right?
Right.
And that same person that you took under your wing, when you might be down, he said, I remember that lady. She used to do X, Y, and Z. She fed me. She did this and that other for me. And say, well, you don't have no place to stay? Come on. I got you. I mean, it's never the wrong thing to do to try to help another person. I don't care. It don't even matter what color your skin is. And some people just look at the color of your skin and it's an automatically hate thing. Why? I mean, if I look at a person of different nationality, it bleed just like I do. If you get cut, you the same color blood I got, you got. Your face just different. Your arm just a different color. That's all. That's all it is. Now your attitude might be nasty and stinky. Could be. Because as you grew up, maybe your parents say black people are dirty, nasty, and whatever. So you grew up hearing that so much. That's what within your mindset. So you don't really know, but that's what they told you. What they fed into your mind. And so that's how you perceive us when you look at us. If you see a white person, white child and a black child, and they haven't heard negative things about a black person, they can get on just fine. With no problem. Until maybe the mother or the father of the white person, not the black one, but the white one, and they say, no, you can't play with them. They're not of our race.
Right.
See, that's where a lot of that
Put the
crazy
garbage
stuff come in.
Put the garbage in their head.
Because all children are, like I said, made in God's image. He didn't say a white person will be better than a black person because of your color of your skin. He didn't say that. He said he put us here to, to love one another. You know, and do whatever we can for them. Treat each other with respect. And that's what we should do. It don't matter about our color. That doesn't matter. As long as somebody treating you fair and, and respecting you and your boundaries, there's no reason to have so much hatred. And there's so much of it in the world now, but just crazy. You don't know from one day to the other when not you walk out that door and you'll come back. You don't.
Yeah, you're right about that.
I just, when I look at my children and like we had a little family meeting and stuff like that, it just does my heart so much good just to sit and talk to y'all and let y'all know you had a problem. All you got to do is pick the phone up. And anything one of us can do for the other, that's what we do. Because that's what family do. When they had the saying, family over everything, that's us. That's us.
True
and
indeed.
I just hope that other people's family can get what we got. We ain't got no money. We don't have no money, y'all. We don't have
got
money.
no money.
But we have love. We have each other. And that's what matters.
So don't come ask for nothing. We ain't got no money. We got no money.
But we do have a whole bunch of common sense. We got